All right, welcome back, everyone. You guys have been digging into all things Bahamas, huh? And we're going deep today, really deep on something you might not expect, the Bahama Hutia. Now we've got some research papers, field notes, even a couple of first-hand accounts
Oh, wow.
to really get to the bottom of what makes this creature tick, what makes it so unique.
Yeah, it really is remarkable. It's not just your average island critter. The Bahama Huti has a story to tell,
Yeah.
a story of survival, resilience. It really shows you what nature can do, adapt and thrive even in the toughest situations.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. When you picture the Bahamas, what comes to mind? Beautiful beaches, that turquoise water,
Right.
maybe a flamingo strutting around, but a rodent? Not
Yeah.
so much. But there it is, the Bahama Hutia, the only native land mammal in the whole archipelago.
And it's that isolation, that unique evolutionary path.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so fascinating.
Right, like they had this whole island paradise to themselves for
Yeah.
centuries. But what does this little guy look like? Can you paint a picture for our listeners?
Well, imagine like a robust guinea pig.
Okay.
But a bit larger, maybe 10 to 14 inches long, weighs a couple of pounds. Not very brightly colored, though. Think browns and grays. Perfect camouflage for those rocky landscapes they call home.
Oh, so they blend right in. And speaking of those landscapes, their story has a pretty wild twist to it, right? I mean, they were considered extinct for over a century.
Exactly. Can you imagine the shock in the scientific community when in 1966, a population pops up on East Plana Cay?
Wow.
This tiny remote island. And this wasn't just dumb luck. This highlights how important it is to keep exploring, to
Yeah.
keep an open mind, because there's always something unexpected waiting to be discovered in the natural world.
It really makes you wonder what else is out there, doesn't it? So this East Plana Cay sounds pretty secluded. Is that kind of the typical Hutia habitat?
Well, yeah, you could say that. They like to keep to themselves, Areas with minimal human interference, places like rocky crevices, scrublands, coastal zones. Not your typical Bahama postcard image,
Right.
but it gives them what they need, Shelter, resources, a chance to thrive.
And they've come up with some pretty cool adaptations to make it work in those places, haven't they?
Absolutely, like being nocturnal.
Okay.
They're most active at night, foraging for food under the cover of darkness. It helps them avoid predators,
Yeah.
and stay cool during those hot days.
Smart. So they're out there under the stars, munching away.
Yeah.
What's on the menu for a Bahama Hutia?
Well, they're herbivores, and they have a pretty diverse diet, Leaves, fruits, bark, sometimes even twigs. We would
Okay.
call them nature's little gardeners, trimming the vegetation, playing a big part in spreading seeds.
I love that. So they're not just surviving, they're actually shaping the whole ecosystem. But how does seed dispersal actually work with them?
Well, think about it. They eat the fruit, wander around a bit, and, well, nature takes its course. Those seeds end up in new spots, helping the plant spread and ensuring the island's flora stays healthy and diverse. Some plants might even depend on the hutia for this whole process.
Wow, so they're like little forest engineers, right?
Yeah.
Doing so much more than their size would suggest. And they do it all together, don't they? They're social creatures, right?
Yeah, very much so. They live in these family groups, communicate with little chirps and grunts, and groom each other, all hallmarks of a complex social structure.
It's amazing, really. You have this seemingly simple rodent with such intricate social behaviors, but they also face some pretty serious challenges, don't they? Threats to their survival.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's true. Their slow reproductive rate is a big one.
Okay.
Unlike other rodents, which are known for, multiplying quickly,
Right.
hutias typically have only one or two offspring a year. And after a gestation period of around 100 days,
So each new generation is precious. And then you add habitat loss, invasive species, even climate change on top of that. It sounds like they're facing an uphill battle.
it is. It is. The Bahama Hutia is currently listed as vulnerable, which basically means they have a high risk of extinction in the wild. And that classification just underscores how urgent it is that we make conservation efforts.
What are some of the key strategies that are being used to help protect them?
Well, habitat preservation is crucial, of course.
Okay.
Limiting development in key areas, managing invasive species like feral cats, even establishing captive breeding programs. These are all tools in the conservation toolkit.
And every little bit helps, right? Even
Yeah.
just spreading awareness like we're doing now can contribute to their survival in the long run.
Absolutely. The more people who understand their role in the ecosystem and the threats they face, the more advocates they'll have fighting for their protection.
So, to sum it all up, the Bahama Hutia, a unique, resilient rodent, playing a crucial role in its little island ecosystem, but facing a real struggle to survive. A powerful reminder that even in a place as beautiful as the Bahamas, nature needs our help.
It really makes you think, their whole existence hinges on these fragile island ecosystems. What can we learn from their story about the wider impact of human actions on biodiversity? That's a question we all need to consider.
That's a good point. Keep exploring, everyone. Keep learning, and who knows what other amazing creatures and stories you'll uncover.